Before I get started, I would like to start off by announcing the winner of this die-cast. Funko popped completely free. I have the results here. Actually, we're going to check out the results here in live time, so it's completely unbiased. So I'm going to go ahead and have you guys result with me, just so we can see this is not rigged, but we were tapping to spin. I think we had 19 entries, so make sure you subscribe to the channel, follow along, because I do giveaways sometimes. We have, congratulations. I will reach out to you and you are the winner, completely unbiased, but congratulations. As you can see, there was no previous results on here. Literally, that was the first result, so congrats.
Subscribe.
But you didn't click on the video for a giveaway. If you did, hey, I do those sometimes, so feel free to stick around and enter in previous giveaways. Who knows, I might do a giveaway at the end of this. You gotta stick around to find out. Can't watch the first three and be like, is he doing a giveaway? I don't know, that's not the point though. The point of this is top 10 necessity things that you should know when you were starting your Funko collection. I even got nicely dressed up, so that means I'm serious on what I'm talking about. But number one, I might have used a little bit of internet to help me decide, because I had a great comment that asked me, hey, what are some tips for beginners starting off their Funko collections? As you can see, I have a decent amount, nothing crazy, but a decent amount of Funko collection. So I figured, hey, if people are getting into Funkos now, what a great time to start. One, because there's so many Funkos available for you guys. Two, what about a little bit of advice that I can give to you guys? So starting off with number one, kind of set your theme, your focus, like what you want to collect. I have a pretty simple theme, if you will. A lot of it is Spider-Man. I have a whole wall of Spider-Man dedicated here, but I also collect a lot of anime. Aside from anime and like Marvel pops, I don't tend to go too far out of my comfort for the things that I do collect. I mean, I have some like one-off things here and there, like, I don't know, like Rubik's Cubes, and sometimes we'll do fun stuff like, I don't know, Slurpee cups and stuff like that. But overall, Dream, please, are you going inside your, yeah? Cool, I'm on your property again? My fault. I'll make sure to pay my taxes by feeding you to live. Anyways, I don't tend to collect just any and everything. Try to find something that you guys like to collect, whether it be a movie, a TV show, a fandom of any kind. I don't just discriminate any one kind of anime, but I have Naruto, I have My Hero Academia, I have Yu-Gi-Oh! and freaking other stuff. Collect things that you like. Don't feel like you have to be obligated to collect things that you don't like just because other people are collecting them. I know that sounds really stupid, but I feel like you guys should hear that. Dream, please stop moving. Number two, and between you and me, hey, between you and me, I have a problem with this one, okay? It's set a budget. Now, I have cooled down significantly. We can back up for a second, but I've calmed down significantly when it comes to just splurging, mainly because I don't have a lot of room. But please set a budget. Do not spend money if you do not have it. I know that is a really stupid thing, but I think people need to understand, just because it's there, and just because you want it, and just because you're out, does not mean you have to buy it. With that said though, I don't do that too well. If you would have seen me last year, like if there was a way to see how many I bought last year and how many I bought this year, it's a huge difference. Probably like a 90% deficit in the amount of pops that I bought. I had a phone call. That's not the point. But yeah, please set a budget. Like, don't work outside of your means. I've gotten really costly efficient with stuff. If you missed out on a really like MSRP pop and then you see it reselling for an astronomical amount, ask yourself a couple questions. One, is it worth it? Do you really need to have the pop that badly? Two, if that is the case, just make sure that you can afford it and you're not going out of your way to buy a pop that you can't afford. Like I said, I know it's common sense. I have a bad problem about that. I've actually done a lot better since then. I have spending issues with other things like Pokemon cards and Weiss and Upper and stuff like that, but that's not the point. My point is budget. It's very, very important. Please set a budget. Rule number three, tip number three, look into the actual like Funko itself. I used to go and buy Funkos as soon as they would come out, and I would sometimes pay more than I should. Back to the budgeting thing. But like if you buy pops from Target, specifically a lot of the Target exclusive stuffs, like right now, great example,
Daredevil
just went out, and I was like, you know what, I want to buy them, but I'm gonna wait because I always know that Target runs a sale. A week later, the comic ones, $10 less. The actual like small normal ones, like $3 cheaper. So make sure you kind of do your own research about the pops, see if that there's going to be another print run, or if they're going to put more out, or just because they may seem scarce and stuff right now doesn't mean you have to hop on the hype train. I do this a lot, but I think I've collected for a long time where I don't have to buy them as soon as they come out. Every single time this happens, I go to Hot Topic, I grab my Hot Topic exclusive, and then it ends up on the clearance shelf, and I'm like, you could have literally just been a little bit more patient. You didn't have to buy it. So just make sure you do your research. Make sure that it is something that is either a limited run if it's truly limited, or if it's just not worth what you're going to pay. Back to the budgeting, you don't necessarily need it. Now, if you want it, I'm not going to stop you from wanting a pop. That's completely different. If you want it, have it. But these are just tips that I'm trying to provide for you. Number 4, kind of into number 3, look at your options. Look at all the competitors that are selling those same pops, because sometimes you may go to a store that's selling a pop for above MSRP. You may find one that's selling it less than MSRP. Really great example of this is I have the store Acme. I've gone to this place a couple times, and they have an amazing selection of Funko Pops. Sometimes the pricings are really high, sometimes they're really low, but sometimes I went there and I was looking for the Miles Morales exclusive from GameStop, and they had it for $17, but at my local GameStop, they had it at MSRP for about 15 bucks. That's a $2 difference, but I can go to a place and get the same pop for cheaper if it's, you know, costly efficient to do so. But don't be afraid to go and look at other options and call around, look around and see, hey, do you have this pop? How much are you guys charging for this pop? And do I need to go somewhere else for it? Because sometimes places will give you absolute steals. Sometimes people will rob you. So just make sure you're looking at all of the options, not just one location for a pop. If it's online, look at other places, look at the reviews, look at how the conditions and stuff are like that. Stuff are like that. Proper English? This isn't an English lesson, so don't worry about that. Just do your research, look at all of your options that you have, because it's not just one place. Now, if you're in a location that you only have one place, maybe you do need to do some online research, but if you're gonna buy online, also check out those competitors, because sometimes people will offer better deals. You don't have to always pay MSRP or way above MSRP. Please, 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 rule number 5, protect your pops. I have a huge wall of pops, as you can see on both sides. My issue, guys, I started stacking boxes on top of ones that are not protected, and they are folding into themselves. So I don't know if you can actually see this here. This ₛᵤbₛcᵣᵢbₑ box, this Harley Quinn box right here, are absolutely crushed. They are supporting the weight of 10 to 15 other pops, and they're not protected. Not only should you put on protectors to protect your pops in general from being crushed, but you should also put protectors on just in general, in case, I don't know, maybe you sit on one, don't know how that would happen, or you put it in the back of your convertible and you put it in the spot where you're not supposed to, and you're dropping the top and it crushes it. I don't know if a box would have helped in that situation, but it just helps. 1, it keeps the box in a nicer condition if you care about that. 2, it just keeps the actual pop itself in a better condition, and it makes it easier to showcase and stack. On top of that, stuff like UV and water and dust and stuff like that. There's a lot of different environmental things that can happen in a box and outside of a box. You're just gonna be a lot more protected. I know that one's kind of a common sense thing, but don't be afraid to spend $10 on the Funko website, or find some local mom and pop shops, or I know someone who went on Temu. Just make sure your pops are protected. It is a huge thing that will go a very long way if you kind of care about your Funko collections. I have a ton of Funkos. They're outside of boxes, and it doesn't even matter if they had pop protectors or not, because guess what? They're not in a box. So if they're not in a box, don't put a protector on them. Best way to get number 6, by the way, we're on number 6. Go to different type of conventions, events, like gatherings and stuff like that. Flea markets, there are tons of different things that give you guys stuff that normal shops probably won't give you guys. For example, I go to MegaCon, I went to Collecticon, I just went to Card Party. There's a lot of places that have Funko Pops that you may never have seen before. You didn't know they exist. Every time I go, I see something I didn't even know was there. There's different people who can get them autographed. I'll go into a second bonus tip here in a second, but you'll find just a ton of different things at conventions that you would have never seen before if you've never gone. I always recommend conventions anyways, because they're just fun to go to. So try to go to a convention whenever you can. I would say that's a lot. I was gonna say there's a good amount, but now that I'm thinking about it, I think there's 4 pops that I've gotten from conventions. I got this freaking Bakugo pop that's up there. because I didn't do my research. I didn't know they were going to restock. Paid $40 for it. I went to GameStop. Now they're sitting on the freaking clearance shelf half the time. So just make sure, you know, go back a couple rules. But yeah, go to conventions. They're super fun. Bonus tip for you guys. Never buy autograph pops. That's just a thing that I would recommend. If you don't have them personally autograph it for you, then what's the point? The person who got it autographed simply just bought it so that you would buy it for a higher price. You never met the person, you never had the conversation. Yeah, it's awesome to have autograph from a person that you like from this anime or this show or this game or this movie or whatever, but like you never got the experience to meet them. So like what was the point of getting an autograph? Now you're paying more for some scribble on a box that really kind of holds very little value in my opinion. Number 7, joining online communities. There's Discords, there's like actual Funko Facebook group pages and stuff like that. There's Reddit pages and stuff like that. Really just a way to find other people in the community who are looking for maybe very specific pops. There's certain things that I've been looking for that you can talk to so-and-so and they're like, hey, I know a guy who has that. So don't be afraid to kind of adventure out of your comfort zone, because don't get me wrong, I don't like hanging out with people, but online they're not so bad. So if someone has something that you're looking for, don't be afraid to go online and check out the communities of people who exist doing the exact same thing you're doing. No one's gonna judge you. To a certain degree, it's the internet, but don't be afraid to join online communities because they're gonna have a lot of advice, better advice than me, and they're gonna be able to probably point you in the right direction to try to find something, or just provide you with statistics, data, all this kind of stuff when it comes to all the rules that I'm kind of explaining for you guys. Also, when it comes to building a collection, rule number 8, there's no rush. You don't have to do this overnight. This did not happen overnight. Don't think that you have to buy 1,000,001 Funko Pops overnight. This takes time. I've been collecting since 2017, and for someone collecting since 2017, I mean, there's a lot of Funko Pops that are around that you can't see, but just based off of this, like that's not gonna happen overnight for you guys. So don't feel like you have to do this in one go. You can take your time, whether it take, like I said, 2017, I've been collecting for about 7 years now. I've gone hiatus for a couple years, and then I've gone cracked. Just because you compare yourself, don't compare yourself to me. I'm like the last I am the last person you should compare yourself to. Look at this. You see this? Put a pimple patch on, and now it's chemical burned. I have one here too. Like, just stop. Don't compare yourself to me. But just know it takes time. Don't rush yourself. It's okay. Rule number 9. Rule number 9. Keep in mind when you're collecting how you're going to showcase your collection. I have a friend who's buying a lot, which is completely okay. If you're here, what's going on, friend? Hi. Once you start building your collection, you're gonna run out of room at some point. For example, I'm out of room at some point. If you can see over there, they're not even sitting on anything. They're just stacked up. Over here, same thing. I'm out of room. But make sure when it comes to it, don't be afraid to invest in something that will give you a nice way to display your pops. Funko sells these on their website, 50 bucks. They hold 8. They're like velvet on the inside. They're very, very, very nice. I really like them. They're 50 bucks, but they sell a 50-buck version at GameStop, so I'm gonna buy the quality one. Floating shelves. There's so many ways to display your stuff. You can do the thing where you stack them on a wall, but that can be very stressful. I have these stacked on IKEA shelves. I don't even think they're from IKEA. I think they're from Target, and I got them on sale. But just keep in mind, how are you gonna display your Funko Pops? You can't just have them stacked in a corner somewhere. You can't see that corner. I have them stacked in a corner. Guys, I'm out of freaking room. I need to give some of these away. Bonus tip, in my opinion, and this could be like its role on its own, but it's like a bonus tip. Do not let the sticker make you want to buy it, especially if it is a glow-in-the-dark chase. Let me show you why. So I bought this glow-in-the-dark chase for, I don't even know how much it was. AAA exclusive. It's cool. I freaking love Minato. It's awesome, right? It glows in the dark. Why did I pay $70 or $50 or whatever for a really stock Funko Pop that just glows in the dark? That does not make sense. So just because it has a chase sticker on it, if it's glow in the dark, don't buy it. That's just my rule of thumb. You can get glow in the dark ones that aren't even freaking, like, look, I have this ₛᵤbₛcᵣᵢbₑ from the previous. It glows in the dark and it's flocked and it's an exclusive and it was $15. This was like 50 something dollars maybe, and I don't even get the benefit of it glowing, and I paid because it had a chase sticker. Just because it's a limited chase pop doesn't mean you have to have it. Same thing with convention stickers. Just because they have a sticker on it doesn't mean you have to buy it. Number 10, this is the really easy one. Dude, just have fun. Have fun. It is just a fun collection. It is just a hobby. It's not even that serious. I think the best thing about Funko Pops is just knowing that you have so many affordable ways to collect things that you guys like. You don't have to be, please don't be a scalper. That's another rule. Don't be a scalper. But it's not that serious. We're collecting them because we like them. There is no right or wrong way to do it, I guess, unless you're scalping. But as long as you're just kind of enjoying it, like I would go collect Pops with my friends. I remember I used to go when Toys R Us was shutting down. I would go on Toys R Us runs with my friends to go and try to just find different Funko Pops. It should just be a fun time. You shouldn't have to be stressing over it. I remember there's been cases where I'm like spamming the website to refresh so I can grab a Funko. Like, if that's fun, I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of fun sometimes, but just enjoy yourself. It is not that deep. You can do any of these rules or you can do none of these rules. There is no right or wrong way to do any of this. I simply wanted to provide you guys with 10 tips that I think, some bonus tips, would just be beneficial for any newcomers or people who may be collecting for a while who just need a little bit of a reminder. That's really simple, guys. That's really there all is to it, man. That's it. That's all I got for you. But if you guys did enjoy the video, please like, comment, subscribe. We're coming up on 500. At the time of recording, I might be at 500. Leave a suggestion below on what I should do for 500. I would genuinely appreciate that, guys. If you see one of these videos popping up on screen, please check them out. And if you're new to this channel and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Aside from that, guys, take care. Comb your hair.